One of the biggest fight announcements for 2024 is the Michael Venom Page versus Kevin Holland fight. And of course, as the fight date comes closer and closer, Michael Venom Page getting asked questions about Kevin Holland's stand-up pact with Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, in which, they vowed not to go to the ground and only keep it a stand-up fight. And here's what he had to say.
I know for a fact Kevin Holland is not gonna want to do that agreement again after the whooping that he took against Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. And I see myself as the faster, harder hitting, just more dangerous version of a Wonderboy Thompson. So he's definitely not going to want to do that again. I'm happy to take that deal. If he wants to shake my hand and do that, then we can do that. But I don't believe he's going to want to. He's going to want to utilize as much as possible to deal with me.
Holland has never been knocked out. His one TKO loss on his record was the corner stoppage against Wonderboy. When you look at his game, do you feel like you can be the first one to truly finish him with strikes, or do you think his durability and all that stuff might make it tricky and might make it a 3-round fight, as you alluded to as a possibility?
Yeah, it's funny because everyone said the same thing to me when I fought Derek Anderson. They said exactly the same thing. Derek Anderson's never been stopped. And the first, am I going to be able to do that? And I broke his face. So that's all I really have to say to that. I just know what I can do. So like I said, even if it does go the distance, he's going to be a hot mess.
Michael Venom Page challenges Kevin Holland to make this agreement with him, and he feels as though, it'll probably go the same, maybe if not worse, for him if he were to do it. So I think this is actually really interesting because, number one, I wonder if Kevin Holland is going to do it. By now, Kevin Holland, of course, when he started out in his career in the UFC, a lot of people didn't like him because of the whole big mouth thing, of course. But, now that people are seeing it's just his character, it's just how he is, and seeing how active he is, and not only how active, but how entertaining he is of a fighter, he is a big-time fan favorite now in the UFC. So I wonder if he will oblige and if he will do it, because it will definitely make for another great fight for the fans. In my personal opinion, I don't think it would be a good idea for Kevin Holland to do it. Look, you did it once, it bit you in the ass. When you knocked down Wonderboy, you had your chance to either finish him, take him out, or win rounds without taking any damage. But you decide to stand up and still go back to war, and you see that it just didn't pay off. I believe it had to be stopped in the corner due to him breaking his hand or something like that, some type of injury. But regardless, the fight wasn't going his way anyways. He was starting to lose it. So, that the idea of that agreement isn't really a good idea. But I see a lot of mixed emotions over here with people talking about it. I see some people saying, Kevin Holland is going to knock MVP out because he has no chin. I have some people saying, thinking that it's stupid. But for the most part, I see a lot of people thinking that Kevin Holland should do it because they'll think he'll win by knockout. But what I would also like to do is look at these UFC rankings and see where Michael Venom Page really stacks up against these guys in the UFC. As we can see, Kevin Holland is ranked number 12. So should he beat Kevin Holland, he'll be just outside the top 10. And in my personal opinion, he has a really good shot of getting within the top 10. It's really in the top 5 is where he's going to get into a lot of these problems. But you can see from 10 to 6, those are all pretty damn good matchups for Michael Venom Page. Ian Gary, Vicente Luque, Jeff Neal, Sean Brady. Sean Brady, he might have a little bit of trouble because of the wrestling, but Wonderboy Thompson. But MVP is going to be coming into the UFC not for a while. So I'm sure the UFC is going to want to give him favorable matchups that the fans are going to want to watch. So I would honestly expect him to maybe fight Wonderboy Thompson if he were to get through Kevin Holland. But like I said, really where he's going to have a lot of problems is in that top 5. I understand people might think he has a good shot of beating Colby Covington after that last performance, but let's keep it 1,000, man. Colby Covington, he was having an off night. Something was wrong with him. You cannot expect, that was probably one of the worst nights he's had. You cannot expect a fighter to come in looking like that. You got to expect them to come in looking at their best. So I'm going to expect, the Colby Covington that fought Robbie Lawler, that fought RDA. I'm going to expect that Colby Covington. So it's still not a favorable matchup. But yeah, all the guys in the top 5, they're all strong wrestlers. So I don't know, MVP might have some serious trouble when trying to get closer towards a title shot with Leon Edwards. But I definitely think he has a good shot of cracking that top 10. But of course, I want to see your thoughts in the comments down below. Let me know, should Kevin Holland take this agreement with Michael Venom Page? Do you like his odds and his chances if he were to do this stand-up only agreement? And should MVP get past Kevin Holland, how well do you think he stacks up in this welterweight division? But as always, I thank you all so much for your support, and I'll catch you in the next video.